this is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vanderkran in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vanderkran in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono. He's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson off wide.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to turn it to twos. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented it, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolutely competitive. Really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRWtv, and welcome in to the final round of the Legends World Challenge for Season 1 of 2024 here out at Sandown Raceway. I'm your commentator here tonight, Hamish Munro, bringing you all the action through sight and sound once again for the Legends. And, well, thanks to CrowdStrike, we are here a week late for the final round. Of course, everything was pushed back by a week, but we are here. We're here for the Driver's Choice round. They all selected Sandown. We never got Pukekohe on the calendar for Season 4, so it never got changed. So this is going to be a tough challenge for these drivers here tonight. Another Australian Classic. It finishes our triple header of Australian tracks at Oran Park, Bathurst, and now Sandown in this race. But it is going to be one tough task for a track where the curbs are your friend, where you want to attack the curbs to make corners as best as possible, especially through 2, 3, and 4, and down towards Dandenong Road. You combine that with cars which absolutely despise hitting the curbs, and you could be in for an absolute treat, an absolute chaotic symphony of action and battles and balance between where do you place your car, where do you best apply the pressure on your opponents. You can get moves done here in these cars, of course. They're quite a fair bit smaller than the biggest supercar or even GTs as well. So we are going to be in for one hell of a night of racing here at Sandown. But I want to quickly just wrap up Wednesday night. Australian Open Wheel Nationals. That was absolutely epic, absolutely massive. Had an absolute pleasure of calling the action with Zach Cabin of GSRC, and as well as Hutto in the background as our little statistician / pit lane reporter. So that was a phenomenal event to be a part of, and of course Sam Chapman took the chocolates on the day for GSRC. We look ahead tonight to the Legends World Challenge. There's no GT stream set up at the moment. We've missed it the last couple of weeks because of the lack of numbers, and I think this week I don't know if we're necessarily going to meet those numbers again. So I don't know. I don't tonight for GTs. Got a couple of chats out there already. Beck in the chat. Welcome to another night of fabulous racing, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us, Beck. Josh Zuno of GSRC in the chat. These on Cadwell Endgame. Have a good cast, fella. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Cadwell is on the calendar for next season of the Legends. So that is going to be an absolute barn burner when we end up there later in the piece for Season 4, of course. But qualifying going to be getting underway very, very shortly, of course. Regular race format here tonight of 10-minute qualifying, 10-minute heat race, little 3-minute expression session / warm-up, and then the 15-minute feature to end it all to crown a Legends World Challenge champion for Season 1. Now, of course, there's a prize on the line. A prize that was announced the other day for the winner of this championship. The winner of the Legends World Challenge will win a free entry into Season 4 of 2024 of SRW, meaning that they will not only be able to race in Legends, they'll also be able to race in the Tuesday night Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Series, the Wednesday night Cooler Master Super Formula Championship, the Thursday night GR86 Nationals brought to you by Shannon's Insurance, as well as the Sunday night Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship as well. So, for the 4 drivers who are in contention here tonight, Tony Baker, Andrew Rushworth, Ash DeVries, and Jack Anderson, one of them can win free entry into all of SRW next season if they were to win the championship here tonight. And it's all on the line for them. It is all on the line for them. Multiple points on offer. Heap of drivers out there. In fact, we've got 15 in the session here tonight. So it's great to see the love for Legends coming back. Of course, next season we'll be on at a new time slot. The sessions will be going live an hour later. So instead of going live at 6, they'll be going live at 7. The broadcast will be going live at 20 past 7, with qualifying commencing as of 7:30. So hopefully that will allow us to get a couple of more drivers in. be a similar format. We'll be having conversations in the background whether we might run one or two different formatted races, maybe a super sprint of 3 10-minute races or 2 15-minute races, who knows, but we're going to be chatting about that in the background. Currently, for the points, Tony Baker leads with 1,236. This is before drop rounds. Drop rounds will not be counted until after this race. The second in P2 on 1,217 points, Andrew Rushworth. Third place, Ash DeVries, 1,189 points. And then Jack Anderson in behind him on 1,182. 54 points separate the top 4 at the moment, meaning that if Jack Anderson wanted to win this title, he would need to finish 12 positions ahead of Tony Baker in race 1 and then at least 10 positions ahead of him in race 2. It is possible here tonight with 15 entries in this race. So this is going to be absolutely epic. Hope you guys are strapped in. Did Steph make it home in time, Hamish? She's not in the session, unfortunately. So hopefully with the start time being later next season, hopefully she'll be able to run a full season with us next season. But unfortunately, she's not made it as of yet. If she makes it in before the end of qualifying, then she can race. So hopefully she can get out there here tonight if she does make it home in time. We'd love to see her out on track once again and make it 16 cars here tonight instead of just 15. But plenty of regular players out there. Of course, Ash DeVries, Andrew Rushworth, Jack Anderson, and Tony Baker. So the 4 championship contenders are out on track, as well as the others, Doug Gowans, Tyler Sheaf, Dan Bartish, Jordan Ferguson, Sam Katakazinas, Mick Clifton, Zach Ratcho White, Ben Faulkner, Jamie Christensen as well. Only one debutant in the field here tonight, Ryan Bunt of Team Apex Esports League. So he'll be out there to have a crack of the legends here tonight for the first time this season. Cars are coming round to the main straight. We're going to start the qualifying lap straight away. Tyson Hanma being led around at the moment by championship leader Tony Baker onto the first qualifying lap. We will see what these drivers can do in these conditions. Let's quickly check out what the weather is out on track, what the track temps look like as well. 29 degrees, so it is a bit warm out there for cars that really, really dislike tyre wear. 32% humidity, of course, 21 degree ambient temperatures. Baker, that's not how he's going to want to start his qualifying, but making a mistake up at 2 and 3. And Anderson's already into the wall as well in behind. So some big action early doors here in this race. Oh, could it be a chaotic end to this championship? Could we see, a DeVries or a Rushworth come out of nowhere and win the title here tonight? Everything is to play for that top 4. Currently, Mickey Clifton is setting the pace in the first sector. He has just been pipped, though, by another driver along the piece, but this is going to be tough. This is going to be incredibly tough. It has a real club day racing feel about it, very similar to the Vic State Series here a couple of weeks ago. The pleasure of going there on the Friday. It was an awesome day. Got to see some great racing at club level, and this just has the same vibe about it, the same grungy and underground vibe of that kind of racing where you rock up, you have a crack, whoever wins it, and anything can happen out there, and anything can change the game. Tyson Hammer on top of the timesheets after his first lap with a 1:22.72. Dougie Gowans goes P2 with a 1:23.20. That time will come down, though, as he was held up a little bit by Baker, making the mistake up at turn 3 into 4. So the times will get faster and faster. We'll get a better feel of the lay of the land throughout the session. Mick Clifton P2, 1:23.1. Ferguson P4, 1:23.7. Sheaf, 1:24.89 in P6 now as Rushworth goes P4 with a 1:23.42 at this stage. That's if he wins the title, Beck. He can do it. He is not too far away from the points total being currently held by Tony Baker. He is only 19 points behind him. With 2 points on offer for the difference between positions in race 1, 3 points on offer for the difference of positions in race 2, he could realistically beat Tony by, what would it be? It's 19 points. So realistically, he has to beat him by 3 positions in both races. No, it still need to be more. Pretty much he needs to finish on the podium and needs Tony to have an absolute chunder down the rest of the running order. Although drop rounds do need to be included, so we're not really going to have a full sense of it until the points are uploaded straight after the race. The other admin did say he would get them uploaded straight after, so we knew what the points were, and so we knew who was the champion at that point. All 4 of them will be on standby in case they need to come for a quick interview after the race, of course, after the feature race winner. The times on the doors, scores on the doors, 122.33 for Hamner at pole position at the moment. Sam Catakazinas P2, 122.9. Doug Gowans, 123.0 in P3. Mick Clifton, P4 at the moment. Then Sheafy makes up the top 5. Rushworth, De Vries, Ferguson, Bunt make up the top 9. Bartish, Baker, Rattray, White, Fortner, Christensen and Anderson yet to set times here in this session. Baker's gone P2 at 122.8. So he's setting the pace here, is the current championship leader. He sits P2 on the road at the moment for qualifying. We'll see if he can pip Tyson Handmark for the top end of town. I'm sure Ben Fortner would love to start front row, but he may even try the last to first challenge here tonight in both races. We'll have to wait and see how it works out for him at the moment. On board now with Baker down towards turn 6 and up the top of Dandenong Road as he rockets down the back straight. It's, it doesn't look too fast paced comparatively to a supercar. Oh, it needs to be careful of the Vermilion train that's occurring down the straight though, but it doesn't look quite as quick as a supercar, but you feel fast coming down this straight in this car. Full throttle, especially in a side-by-side battle, makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. It is ridiculous stuff. Down through Dandenong Road now for Baker towards the final sector of this Sandown circuit. I'm giddy. I'm excited for what is to come here tonight. We have just over 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Hanmer and Baker currently on the front row. Catakazinas and Gowans in behind them. Clifton, Barter, Sheaf, Rushworth, De Vries, Ferguson make up the 10. Then Bunt, Anderson, Rattray, White, Fortner and Christensen at the back end of the field. So this is going to be tough times ahead. Baker could not go better. De Vries does though, and goes on to the second row of the grid. He needs this kind of performance here tonight if he hopes to win the title. Had a wild moment out at Bathurst last week where he caught the jump down the side of Conrod Straight. Ended up colliding with a couple of cars. It was a massive moment. Could be a championship losing one as well if he cannot put the ratios together here tonight. Currently towing around Jack Anderson in behind him. So a couple of championship contenders trying to work together to bring the heat to Tony Baker and Andrew Rushworth at this stage. Just under 2.5 or just over 2.5 minutes left. We're not long until checkered flag dropping for race number 1 of the final round of the season. Get excited, get your popcorn out, get your drinks on hand as De Vries absolutely straight lines the top of the hill and get tucked in for what is undoubtedly going to be one of the races of the season, ladies and gentlemen. This racetrack, these cars, what a track car combination for you. And what a way to end out season 1 of the Legends World Challenge here in SRW. Next season's calendar has been announced. And it is a real good one, I will tell you straight up. This calendar for next season is going to be immense. Zolder will be our first round of the season, starting on the 18th of October. We'll then move over to Red Bull Ring for the 25th of October, then Mid-Ohio, VIR, the South Course. Mid-Ohio running the short circuit, Red Bull Ring running the national circuit. Phillip Island in the middle of the season. Belle Isle, Cadwell Park for round 7. Round 8 will be the national circuit of Silverstone, and then Driver's Choice for the final round. Those races will get, or those tracks will get released as of the start of round 1. The driver's poll will end as of the end of round 5 at Phillip Island. So they'll have 5 weeks to determine what they want for their driver's choice round. It is going to be one hell of a season to come. Not long left though in qualifying. Currently, Tyson Hammer sits top of the timing sheets with a 122.24. Then it's Baker P2, Catakazinas, De Vries and Gowans that make up the top 5 at the moment here in qualifying. Put your picks into the chat. Who's winning the race? Who's winning the series? Who is going to win this championship and the free entry into SRW next season? It is full on here tonight. Massive moments of pressure for these drivers. We saw a lot of drivers crack under pressure on Wednesday night in the Australian Open World Nationals. We also saw a lot of them rise to the top, like the crow always flies. So This is going to be one of those races that these drivers, I think, will remember for a long time coming. Remember, if you want to be a part of Legends World Challenge next season, this is a free series here in SRW. You only need to be a registered SRW driver. There are a lot of them out there. We're still accepting registrations at this stage in time to join us here in SRW. Running next season as of 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Sessions open. 7:30 qualifying starts. You can register at www.simracingworld.com.au. That is www.simracing.com.au. Qualifying done and dusted. Tyson Hanmer has claimed pole position here in qualifying. This is going to be one hell of a run to the checkered flag here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Sandown on your screen. Sight and sound here of Springvale and Victoria. Around about an hour south of Melbourne CBD. This is going to be an awesome, awesome race. Starting grid on your screens, though, right now. It'll be Tyson Hanmer on pole position for Vermilion Motorsports. Head to Tony Baker alongside Sam Catakazinas, Ash DeVries on the second row of the grid. Doug Gowans, Andrew Rushworth on the third, with Mick Clifton and Dan Bartish on the fourth row. Tyler Sheaf, Ryan Bunn on debut will start inside the top 10. Jordan Ferguson, Zach Rattray White in behind him as we then move back to Jamie Christensen, Ben Fortner and Jack Anderson at the back end of the field. 15 cars in this session here tonight. We are awaiting the pole sitter to join the grid. We would like to show his car on screen, but he's not on the grid pole position as of yet. Get your predictions in. Figure out who is going to win this title, who is going to win these races here tonight. I want to see those predictions. My prediction, we may have an outside edge. Maybe a sneaky Andrew Rushworth comes through and takes the title. It's all going to be dependent on what happens at the front end of the field. It's all going to be dependent on if there is any carnage up at the front end of town. Here is Hanmer's car on pole position. Vermilion Motorsports, of course. And the 018 machine. Oh, that's because we're currently looking at Tony Baker. That's better. Beck giving her love to Rockstar Mickey Clifton in the chat. Side by side, championship contender Tony Baker, Tyson Hanmer on the front row. We are not too far away from gridding up. Lights are going to go up. We're going to go racing at Sandown here. 10-minute heat to come. 15 cars on track. Let's go racing. It was a rocket start from Tony Baker off the line down towards turn one. As they come on through for the very first time, Hanmer has been eaten alive by the cars in behind him. He's very lucky not to have dropped any more spots than he already did. Up towards 2 and 3 now. Need to be careful of any carnage that may occur through here as Baker leads them through. We can see as they trundle on through, looking nice and tiny at the moment through 4, but Hanmer right on Tony Baker now as Bartish has gone round in the background. The Pro-Am champion of the GR8 6s has spun it round at turn 4. As Hanmer leads the way down the straight. Catakazinas all over Tony Baker right now. DeVries is on him as well. Top 4 in close contention as they come down towards Dandenong Road. Need to be careful not to miss the braking markers if they can. As they rocket on through, and there's already cars off track in the background. That's Rattray White off at the top of the hill. And you can see at the back that this pack at the back end of the track and the back end of the field is just absolutely scorching at the moment as Hanmer leads them round to start lap number 2. What a start to this race already. Some fantastic battles already been on offer thus far. A couple of big movers already. Christensen, Fortner and Anderson already up 5 spots. Sheaf's down 3. Bunt on debuts down 3. Bartish down 6. Rattray White's had to go into pit lane, but he's down 3 as well. As Hanmer leads them round 2, 3 and 4. Massive slide for the race leader, though. He loses it, holds his brakes. Everyone has to take avoiding action, and all of a sudden, Baker and Catakazinas are battling for the lead. I don't think Sheafy got the memo of the stopped car, neither did Bunt, and they've been collected up through 2 and 3 as it's a drag race now down towards the top of the hill towards Dandenong Road. Turn 6, fast-paced. Who's going to give here in the braking zone? Or they risk going too wide? Baker tucks up the inside. Katakazinos lives to fight another day as they come down the hill. But that is just how easy it is. How hitting the curvature just ever so wrong can hurt you up at 2, 3, and 4. It's taken the leader of this race, Tyson Hammer, all the way back to P8 on the road. A mammoth moment at the start of this one as they come down to start. Lap number 3. Current running order: Baker to Katakazinas, De Vries, Rushworth, Gowans, Clifton, Christensen, Hanmar, Anderson, Fortner the top 10, Ferguson, Bartish, Bunt, Sheaf, Rattray, White. Makes up the rest of the running order as Sheafy's had to come or tow back to pit lane, I do believe. But he looks to be out of this race at this stage. Oh, what a wild moment at the front of the field. He just caught that curb ever so wrong. Let's see here if we can get a better look at it as Gowans has a massive wiggle in the background. Not what you want to see. This is what happened with Hanmar. So he was already rocketing down here. Let's go full pace. We'll go quarter speed up here. So he comes up through. Oh, a little bit of a wide entry. Catches that curb. Oh, and it just really unsettled the car, and it was just going straight round. Great wherewithal to hold the brakes. But man, oh man, that is a tough go for him. Currently, Ash De Vries battling it out here with Katakazinos. He's now gotten his way past down at Dandenong Road. Exceptional job from him to get that move done. This is how it happened. This is where he did it. You can see here, Katakazinos just running it a little bit too wide, and De Vries took advantage, and that is how he took P2 on the road here tonight. Start of lap 4 now. Baker starting to spread those wings and fly away as De Vries has been caught here in P2. Katakazinos and Rushworth hot on his tail here at this moment in time. Back in the chat, I love these cars. It doesn't take much to put a great racer at the back. It really doesn't. These cars, they really can separate anybody. I mean, you can have tight racing, but no matter how good you are, one simple mistake can lose you just a mountain of positions because of how close the racing is, and they are a real handful to wrestle around, especially around a track like this. Probably one of the toughest tracks we could have brought them to because of the curbs alone. That's Christensen and Katakazinas fighting here. Christensen has been on an absolute rocket ship of a race thus far. He's up 9 positions, wants to make it 10 down at Dandenong Road. A little bit of a door there on Katakazinas, forces him out into the sand. Rushworth says, thank you muchly, I'll take the spot as well. So did Clifton. And now Gowans wants to go at him too, up the inside. Oh, and he's just getting bullied at the moment from the boys. Gets the job done. Anderson is now all over him as well. Oh no, but they've been involved in a bit of a moment off the back end of it. Hanmar's there as Ferguson comes round too. So they're getting a bit feisty throughout this field. A little bit feisty, I will say. And really just starting to grit their teeth and get into this right now. The battling has been immense thus far, I think you can agree. It's just some fantastic door-to-door racing. A little bit of a nudge like that in these types of cars, in this type of racing environment, I think it's okay. You push them out a little bit wide, they lose out. I mean, we've seen drivers get less penalties for a worse incident in real-life racing. So a little bit of a door, I think is okay. We'll see what happens. It's not like we can do very much about it because of the ticket system and the post-race review. Just got to push on and keep on racing as Baker leads them down towards Dandenong Road. De Vries, Christensen, hot on his tail right now. You almost feel like it's like a fuse running up the line that has been left by the bomb technician. We don't want it to blow up as Anderson's had a big moment in the background at Dandenong Road, and that car is very poorly at the moment. What has happened to Jack Anderson in the 319, the championship challenger? Oh, big slide, big curb up, and bang, straight in the wall. You'd have to argue that could be title hopes done and dusted as he's just trying to get this thing back to pits, gets it in. As I believe Ben Fortner is out of this race, as is Tyler Sheaf. Oh, but you have to argue that is championship hopes done and dusted there for Jack Anderson. A real shame. A real shame. He needed to beat Tony Baker in this race. He needed to beat him by quite a bit. And that's just not going to happen now with 2.5 minutes to go. I cannot see a world in which that happens. But at the moment, Baker leads to De Vries, to Christensen, to Rushworth, to Clifton, to Gowans, to Katakazinas, Hanmer, Ferguson, Bartish makes up the top 10. Bunt, Rattray, White make up the top 12. The last cars left out on track. Anderson in pit lane. Faulkner and Sheaf out of this one as Baker leads them round. So he's probably going to have around about 2 laps left to lead this race before he claims another win this season. This will be his 3rd this season. One more and he matches Sam Chapman of most in the single season for that record. We can see the fans have come out to support the drivers here tonight. So many in the crowd for this epic action out at Sandown. Closest battle we have on track at the moment. This one here, Gowans, Clifton and Katakazinos all in a battle for a top 5 finish in this race. They've probably got roughly 2 laps to get this thing done. But Gowans is leading the battle at the moment. Clifton all over him like a bad smell. Katakazinas not going away either. These guys will be tightly contested until the line, and the way this race has gone, the way that some of these battles have operated, you have a feeling that race 2 is going to be an absolute unmissable event here tonight. We know race 2's been cooking all season long. We know that the drivers have just been turning it up to another level. The full reverse grid has really been turning things up to 11 in race 2. And I think tonight it may get... we may break the nozzle. We may break the knob off the off the switch, I think. Baker's going to come down towards the line. White flag from Barney here as they cross to start the final lap of Sandown for race number 1 here this evening. Bunt on debuts, had an accident in the background down at Dandenong Road. What has happened to the debutant here? So he was already rolling around on his own. Oh, massive curb strike and just loss of rear end. That's a tough job on the debutant. But Baker has De Vries all over him. De Vries under pressure now from Christensen as well as they rocket down towards the top of the hill. De Vries going defensive early here, trying to cover on Christensen. Christensen trying to get up the inside if he can. Too wide at the top of the hill. Gets the job done. Oh my God, they nearly come together on the way through. De Vries, though, going to try and sneak it back up on him. Can't quite get there. Christensen now is going to continue along to try and chase down Baker. He does not have long to get this job done, though. Around the final couple of corners now for Tony Baker in this race. And up towards the line. And Baker will win his 3rd race of the season. And he will get some solid chunk of points leading into the final feature race here, where he now has one hand on the championship trophy and one hand on that free season of SRW next season. What a race. What a championship it has been thus far. If Baker pulls that off again, we'll be calling him champion at the end of the night. Now, he's taken the win. He has finished, 6 points ahead of Andrew Rushworth there. So that gap now moves out to 25 points. For Rushworth to get this job done, he needs to beat Tony Baker in this next race by 9 positions. So he needs to pretty much win and have Baker finish in P9 or below and Rushworth can do it. So that is now what is on the line for Rushworth. Needs to beat him by 9 positions. This is going to be a tough task for him, but we have seen it happen before. Anything can happen in race 2. Reverse grid, full carnage, full pressure. This is going to be an awesome moment for Legends World Challenge to name the first ever driver of Legends World Challenge here at SRW. This is going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm so looking forward to it. If you guys haven't already and you're liking what you're seeing thus far and you want to see more of it, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon as well so you are notified whenever we go racing here on SRWtv. We've got a couple of weeks off leading up towards the start of the next season, but there is some racing action still to come here in SRW. Next Wednesday night, Cooler Masters Super Formula Championship F1 Shadow Round action out at Belle Isle for the Singapore Grand Prix Shadow Round. We'll then have a couple of weeks off. We'll be returning to your screens as of the 13th of October for round 1 of the Tuesday night Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars. Those guys will be going racing around Long Beach for round 1, so that's going to be an absolute carnage fest. The 8th of October, for round 1. The 8th of October for round 1 of Long Beach. That means I've actually gotten the Legends calendar incorrect. I'll have to fix that. The 8th of October for round 1 of Long Beach for the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars series. Wednesday night, Super Formula Lights. They will be going racing around a Road Atlanta for round number 1 and a sprint round on the 9th of October. GR86s will be going racing the 10th of October on the Thursday at Oran Park. I said that Legends is on the 18th. That means I actually got the dates wrong. That means they'll be going racing as of the 11th of October for Zolder for round 1. So that's going to be absolutely epic. Actually, that might offset the calendar a little bit. We'll have to have a look. And then Sunday Supercars will be running on that Sunday with Long Beach, same as the Tuesday series. So yeah, I'll have to make adjustments to the calendar and realize that I made it a week late instead of a week early. So the calendar will have to get adjusted for next season of Legends, but we will we'll get it all sorted, ladies and gentlemen, and everything will be fine and dandy going forward. But I tell you what, this battle between Baker and Rushworth and De Vries too, he's still within a chance, but I actually don't think he would necessarily be able to do it. He would be 10 points behind or 8 points behind now. That puts him up to above 50. Now that's going to be pretty insurmountable for De Vries, so he can't necessarily do it, I don't think. Might have only been 6 points actually. But, yeah, this is going to be tight. This is going to be a tough contest. Pretty much it is down to Tony Baker and Andrew Rushworth. It's going to take a miracle for... it's going to be a miracle for anyone else to try and win this title. Connor Nixon in the chat. Sup, my PC is dead, so I am Xbox lol and watching. Great to have you watching here with us tonight. Connor, I'm watching on the Xbox as well. Starting grid for race number 2 will be as follows for full reverse grid. Tyler Sheaf, Ben Faulkner on the front row. Whether they make the start of this race or not, we'll have to wait and see. Jack Anderson, Ryan Bunt in behind them with Zach Rattray White, Dan Bartish on the 3rd row. John Ferguson, Tyson Hanmer on the 4th with Sam Katakazinis and Mick Clifton on the 5th. Doug Gowans, Andrew Rushworth will start P11 and P12 here tonight. And in behind them will be the podium finishers of the last race. Ash De Vries, Jamie Christensen and Tony Baker, the champion-elect at the moment. But lights are going to go up. We're going racing here for race number 2. 15-minute feature to come your way, as the top 2 have not made the start. So Anderson rockets away in pole position ahead of Dan Bartish, Ryan Bunt. Jordan Ferguson's already trying to get it done up the inside of him as Katakazinos tries to split them all, as well as Hanmer as well. Up towards the top of the hill at turn 2, 3 and 4. Need to watch the curbs here and cannot get too much of a curb strike. Anderson does well, as does the rest of the field. At the moment, Ferguson spun it round to the exit of 3 and now drops to the back end of town. We have 4 non-starters in this race. Rattray White, Sheaf. Rattray White is out there, but he must have started from the lane. So 3 non-starters out there, Sheaf, Faulkner and Christensen. That really does take it now out of the hopes and dreams of De Vries to win this title. He cannot mathematically do it in this race, so he is now out of contention. It is now a two-way dance between these two here, Tony Baker and Andrew Rushworth, and Baker already being past him is not good for the hopes and dreams of Andrew Rushworth at the moment, but mistakes like that might give him some hope, might give him some reprieve, and might help him get some confidence that the title race may not be over just yet. As Anderson leads them round towards the start-finish line. They will start lap number 2. It'll be Anderson, Hanmer, Bartish, Clifton, Bunt, Katakazinas, Gowans, Rushworth, Baker, De Vries, Ferguson, and then Rattray White makes up the grid. Apparently Zach Rattray White is a lap down. I don't know how he's a lap down, because we only just started the race, and he started from the pit lane. Very, very weird with the timing at the moment. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works out. That's very interesting indeed, as Anderson leads them through 4 now up onto the back straight. He's got Hanmer all over him. You could see him in the mirror then, putting maximum pressure on Anderson. Rushworth's now gotten by Baker in the background as well. Side by side though, down towards the top of the hill for turn 6. Who gets the reprieve down here? Hanmer gets it up the inside. Anderson wanting to go side by side with him. Has to run it wide. Nearly ends up back in the wall just like race 1. He has to give in eventually. Hanmer now leads the race with Bartish in P3. Separating them, Jack Anderson at the moment. In behind, Mick Clifton leads to Katakazinas, Gowans, Bunt, Rushworth, Baker, De Vries and Ferguson. Rattray White, for whatever reason the timing is saying, is a lap down. I don't know how he could possibly be a lap down, but very interesting that it has happened. As Bunt and Baker and De Vries all trying to battle now. Bunt's going to try and be a wall here, you would assume, for Andrew Rushworth. The problem is Rushworth needs positions. He needs to get up to at least P3 and have Baker end up at the back end of the field. It's not looking like it's going to happen. Oh, my God. De Vries nearly lost it there off the exit of turn 1. Very lucky not to drop a wheel in the grass and end up in the wall, but it nearly ever so closely happened. This is the current running order of things. We've had 3 non-starters, as I mentioned. That'll now get dropped down to 12. As I believe the timing has now been fixed for Zach Rattray White. He is now back on the lead lap. Very, very odd when that happens. Very, very odd. As Rushworth just trying to cling on to anything that he can, any semblance of a championship hope. At the moment, Baker would be winning it. There's no way for Rushworth to win the title in this way of finishing. De Vries cannot do it. He's out of championship contention, as is Jack Anderson as well. Start of lap 4. 4 minutes, 16 seconds into proceedings. Hanmer leads to Anderson, to Bartish, to Clifton, to Sam Katakazinas, to Gowans, to Rushworth, to Baker, to Bunt, to De Vries. Ferguson and Rattray White make up the rest of the running order. Sheaf, Faulkner, Christensen out of this one at the moment. And I feel like, I don't know if the viewers would agree, but I feel like we're getting into that sort of little ropey moment of the race. Some drivers may be trying to save some tyres, knowing that they start to run out in the last 5 minutes. Oh, it's going to be a tough road. Tough road to the checkered flag. A tough road to the championship for a lot of these drivers. As Baker looks to tuck it up the inside now. Rushworth side by side at turn 6 gets the job done. And Baker now just solidifying a championship to his name at this point in time. 10 minutes to go though. Anything can happen. Back in the chat saying you need to push it, DK. You got to climb those positions. Problem is, he doesn't only need to climb positions, he needs Baker to drop them as well. He needs Baker to drop them like a bad habit, just immediately end up at the back of the field. That's the issue on Rushworth's hands at the moment. On board now with Baker down towards turn 1. We can see a little bit of action happening up ahead as Clifton, Katakazinas and Gowans continue their battle from race number 1. In towards turn 1 now, though, for Baker. So the champion-elect at the moment sits P7 on the road with 9 minutes left in this race. 9 minutes left in this championship. As Katakazinas is just trying to chase down Mickey Clifton at the moment. We'll go on board with him. See what the pace is like down this straight. So you can see there, it doesn't necessarily look as fast as the supercar. It feels quick, though, when you are rocketing down this straight and you're weaving in and out of position, trying to get any semblance of tow. There's barely a 15th of it between them, but oh, it is a real struggle down at Dandenong Road now on board. But Katakazinos catches the curb, spins it out. He's going to drop a spot or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It's going to be 4. I don't think DeVries is going to get past him. He's not. So that's 4 spots now dropped for Sam Katakazinos. He now ends back up where he started this race. Oh, that is a problem, and that's a shame for him as well. Tell you what, this battle, though, is giving a reprieve to Anderson up the front end of town with Hanma, as Bartish is now under pressure here from Mick Clifton and Doug Gowans in behind him as well. So the current, the Pro-Am champion of the Thursday night Shannon's Insurance GR86 Nationals, Dan Bartish here, under immense pressure. We saw him make a mistake in race 1 at turn 4, as Anderson makes a mistake and drops out of P2 on the road. And that may just be he's trying to get it back. Ferguson nearly caught him on the way through. That sums up his championship, doesn't it? Just a shame for him. A real shame. So what's happened to him? So he caught the curve, tried to catch it. He did indeed catch it. And what's happened? Oh, he's just gassed it up on the exit. So he caught one, caught the other. Oh, that's a real shame. A real shame for Anderson. And he now drops down to P12 on the road. Last place is... This thing is just not healthy coming down the hill. So that is real unfortunate for Anderson. You really have to feel for him. Hammer leads the way, has the lead of this race well in hand. 4.5 seconds at the moment. Bartish P2, Clifton, Gowans and Baker make up the top 5. Rushworth, Katakazinas, DeVries, Bunt, Rattray, White make up the top 10. Ferguson P11 on the road. Anderson back in pit lane at the moment. And that might be race done for Jack Anderson, you would have to feel. So at the moment, with positions dropping like flies, it only strengthens the opportunity for Tony Baker to solidify this championship at the moment. The points gap that he has between him and Andrew Rushworth coming into race number 2 is 25 points. With 3 points separating each position in this field, that then means that Baker needs 9 positions, or to finish within 9 positions of Rushworth. And then the 11 cars on track, that is going to be a bit of an insurmountable task for Rushworth to have that happen for him now in race 2. Back up at P2 though, Bartish still under massive pressure here from Mickey Clifton. See the pressure being applied. Just spreading it to absolute perfection right now. Gowans is there as well. So these guys are in an intensifying battle. It's only for glory. It's not for anything in terms of a championship. It's all about bragging rights at this point in time. But these guys are hungry for it. They're hungry for the opportunity. They're hungry for a championship. And they're hungry to at least get some bragging rights in this race and set themselves up with some good momentum leading into next season, starting on the 11th of October for the Legends World Challenge here in SRW. But the battle continues on. We have just over 4.5 minutes to go in this race. Tyson Hanmer leads to Dan Bartish, Mick Clifton, Dougie Gowans and Tony Baker for the top 5 at this stage in time. And Tony Baker is now only 4 minutes away from being crowned the first ever Legends World Challenge champion here in SRW, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an immense season thus far. It's been an absolute pleasure to call the action all season long. As Clifton gets it past Bartish off the exit of Dandenong Road. Gowans is going to try and pick up the crumbs as well. Chucks it up the inside. Cannot quite get the momentum through the corner though. He has to look ahead now to try and chase down Bartish as best he can going forward. Could not quite get there in the end, but it's been an immense season. I am extremely excited for Season 2 next season. That is going to be massive. It is going to be one hell of a fight for these drivers. If you guys are excited as well, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon so you're notified whenever we go racing, because this is going to be an epic season ahead of us. It is going to be awesome. It's going to be an unmissable season. Not even just for Legends, but for supercars and super formulas and GR86s as well across the other 4 nights of racing that we have. Jacko's in the chat. I have lost my ability to drive, it seems. Well, it's a shame. Jacko's, unfortunately, I did mention before, kind of summed up your season a little bit, but who knows? I was going well until I wasn't. Yeah, I know. You did well to actually catch the slide, and then unfortunately you just caught the wall on the run around through turn 4. It was a real shame. Real shame, and a real disappointment as well. So right now running on board with Bartish. He's got Gowans trying to chase him down. They got Baker in behind them as well. Rattray White, Catakazinas have now made their way past Andrew Rushworth. So nail in the coffin stuff for Andrew Rushworth's championship at the moment. And Baker is only a couple of moments away, a couple of laps away from hoisting this championship and being crowned the champion. This is it's a tough task, and it's a tough road ahead as well. He's on board with Bartish once again. Oh, the run through 2, 3, and 4, even catching the curb on exit. It is, you feel like you're on the struggle bus at the moment with him. It looks like a real struggle through there. And, you know, they've mentioned these issues of tyres. You know, the tyres, real struggles. So these tyres, they struggle with the tyre wear, and well, it's really starting to show here in the final couple of moments. Jack's in the chat. Funny enough, I was chatting shit about how I hoped there was more happening down the back, and I died. Well, you brought it into existence, so you could create some carnage down the back end. Back in the chat once again, giving her love to Mick Clifton. He currently sits P2 on the road. Tyson Hamner crosses the line. 1 lap to go in this race. White flag should be out now. So we are not too far away from checkered flag flying here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Not too far away from crowning the first ever SRW Legends World Challenge champion out there. This is going to be an immense celebration for one of these drivers, namely Tony Baker, if this is able to get done and dusted for him. And I tell you what, this is going to be a proud moment, not only for him, but the fans of him as well. As Gowans and Baker, Bartish has had a moment in the background. He spun it round at turn 4. That's going to allow a heap of drivers through, namely a couple more drivers as Rattray White now ends up on the podium. Baker is tucked in behind. Hamner is going to come down the hill at the moment. This is going to be a fast-paced run for him. Up towards the line. And what a race for Hamner. He started on pole in race 1, made the mistake, but made up for it in race 2. Jackos, we will have just Mr. Tony Baker into the green room, please. We're only going to talk to the champion. Hamner's going to come up and across the line, and he will win the final race of Season 1 of the SRW Legends World Challenge here in spectacular fashion at Sandown. Clifton and Rattray White are going to make up the podium, and Tony Baker is the winner of the Legends World Challenge Season 1 He is the first ever champion on the road for the Legends. He wins a free season in SRW next season after taking 3 wins out of 18 races across 9 rounds. An unbelievable performance from the champion-elect, barring any penalties coming his way. He has won the title, and he has won it in spectacular fashion. Wow, wowee. Jacko's in the chat. Keen for season 2. There's some ripper tracks lined up. It is going to be immense next season, Jackos. I am super excited. We ran through the calendar earlier. We will run through it again very, very shortly. I'm just quickly confirming my pizza order to go pick up very, very soon. But yeah, wow. Wow, wowee. What a season. What a race. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Tony Baker has won the title. We have both Hanmer and Baker there, so we'll chat to both of them. Why not? We'll have a quick chat to Mr. Hanmer first of all. Mr. Tyson Hanmer, I've snuck your way before you could chat to our champion-elect in Tony Baker. Mate, a round of 2 halves for you, it seems. You started on pole in race 1, got going quite well, but then ended up in the wall up at turn, I think it was the exit of turn 3 as you caught the curb, and then just kind of making up the numbers at the back end. But race 2, you got up the front and just rocketed away from the very start. What was the change of mindset after the incident happened up at turn 3?
I mean, that was pretty silly on my part. I just took too much curb at turn 2 and just shot me off into turn 3 and just unsettled the car pretty easily. So I don't know if it's if there's a setup change with the road series going ahead with this car, which is really cool. But it seemed the car was a bit stiffer and didn't really take curbs as much as it used to. So it was a bit of a shock to me. So it's a bit of a learning curve for the next race. And yeah, just obviously wanted to make sure I consolidated a win tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much the actual setup has changed, how this car really reacts to the road. We'd have to do a bit of a deep dive on it, obviously. But, I mean, mate, you weren't here the whole season. When you did race, though, did you at least have some fun? I mean, it looked pretty fun out there for Sandown. I mean, were the challenges at least worth it to at least come and leave the session with a smile on your face?
I mean, any session in this car is a blast. I mean, it's such a really cool car. It's nice and nimble. You have to really drive the nuts out of it. If you're a go-karter, you'll really love it. You have to really work it. Clutches as well. So you got to really kind of like drive it like a V8 in a sense, except with the upshifter being a bit different. So it'd be nice if we could get the Aussie racing cars where we don't have to worry about the clutch and we could just get sequential boxes and some nice light nimble racing cars to give it to have fun with. But really good combo. I mean, this track just can cater for anything really. And just the challenges with the curbs, obviously I tried to use as much as I could. There's definitely a time advantage for doing so, but you just got to be careful for which ones you got to use.
Well, mate, can we expect you on track next season? I mean, since you are already registered, you are able to come racing next season anyway, because we didn't want to have to force drivers to re-register. Unless we managed to make it 50 in one session, then we'd be worried about that. But, mate, we hope to see you on track next season. You had an incredible run out there tonight. Let us know how to get you out on track. Anyone else wish to give a shout out to as well. And thank you so much for racing and supporting the Legends by coming and racing with us on Friday nights.
No, thanks, guys. It's been an absolute blast for you guys to put this on and also make it free for everyone to just jump in and have a bit of a blast. But I just want to quickly thank the guys. Vermilion, some of them jumped in tonight, had a bit of a lob. Really appreciate having their support. Just list out all the guys that get us done for us. So Burb Designs, Curdy Bird, Legend Painter, hit him up for a sick paint like the one we're running tonight. Race Lab, Overlay, Supernova Motorsports, Morosa, High Moro Setups, and Vermilion X Coaching. If you need any coaching, hit that up on Discord. And to you, Haim, and the guys that run the series behind the scenes as well, you guys do a mega job. Always love kicking back and watching the broadcast back over. And congrats to Tony, who did a really good job all season. So thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you very much, Tyson. Best of luck in your next racing endeavour out there. We hope to see you back again for next season.
Peace. Cheers.
Thanks, mate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up, our champion-elect. The only time we speak to two racers or two drivers in a season is when we are crowning a champion and we're talking to the feature race winner as well. We'll drag him in now. Mr. Tony Baker, you are the inaugural Legends World Challenge champion here in SRW. You've won yourself a free season next season in SRW across the board, meaning you can race in anything we offer, not just Legends. You can race in supercars and super formulas and 8.6s. And, oh, mate, you've now got 5 nights of racing on SRW because you showed up every week, put in the performances you needed to, and you won the title in the end, mate. How does that feel?
It's pretty awesome. Thanks very much, Hamish. Thanks to SRW for the prize. That's an awesome thing. And exactly that. I was just here week in, week out. There was some faster guys out there. But yeah, they obviously missed a few rounds, which got me a foot in the door. So I'll take that. No worries at all.
Well, mate, I mean, it was a season of consistency from yourself. Very rarely did you ever make a mistake out there. Where do you think, if you look into next season, if you were to return, do you think there's anything you could possibly improve upon going into next season?
Yeah, 100%. Just go harder because I don't know how those guys do it. They're, good 5/10 quicker, and some of the guys around here just in practice were like 7/8 quicker. So, 8/10 over what? 7 corners. Like, there's still a fair bit of improvement. Tyson can certainly use those curbs. I don't know how he does it, but I'm too afraid. I just like to try and keep it consistent and on the track. So, yeah, no, there's plenty more to gain in there. It's been great racing the whole season with blokes like Andrew. Heaps of respect out of there. The second races, I've been a bit caught up in a few accidents, but I've managed to come through and smell the roses at the end, I guess.
Well, mate, after the drop rounds, you have managed to win the season by 16 points over Andrew Rushworth, and then Ash DeVries was a further 8 points behind. You've done it the hard way. You've managed to rock up every single week, which we love. We love getting regulars out there every week, and we so appreciate you supporting the series by showing up and racing. Enjoy your free season next season at SRW, no matter what else you may choose to race in. We hope to see you back again to defend your title in the Legends World Challenge as well. Let us know, mate, if there's anyone you wish to give a shout-out to, anyone else you want to thank, and congratulations on becoming the inaugural Legends World Challenge champion.
Thanks very much. I just like to thank the family for letting me race so much on the sim. It's always taxing on them, but I enjoy it, so they allow it, so that's good. Great season, SRW, first season I've done with them, and really enjoyed the 86s. The Legends, great bunch of guys in there just having a bit of fun on a Friday. I hope with a later start, like 7 o'clock, we should be able to get a few more on the grid, and I'll definitely be back next season. I don't know so much about, going back to back or anything like that. I'll just get out there and have some fun. So, yeah, thanks again.
No worries, mate. We'll get the admin to contact you and to giving you a code to use when you do your sub for next season, so you can sign up for free with your code next to your name. Best of luck in season 4 across the board in SRW. Congratulations on the championship.
No worries at all.
Have a chat to me as well.
No worries at all. Thanks, Hamish.
Thanks, mate. I mean, microphone might have been having a bit of a muck up there at the end, but that's okay. Tony Baker, do we give him number 1 next season just for Legends? I'd have to ask Sinker. We normally don't give custom numbers to people because of the way the penalty system works, because it's the number across the board. I'd have to ask him. We'll see what he says, whether we give him number 1 or not. I know that Ty Delaney wasn't planning on using number 1 now that he's won the Pro Championship. There may be another champion who decides they want to use number 1, like the Super Formula Light champion or the 8.6 champion, but we will see. We'll see what they say. If none of them want to run number 1, we'll say, can Tony Baker run number 1 next season? But we'll have a look at it. But, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an absolute blast all season long. To start up this series, have some fantastic racing on board, and to get more and more people invested in the Legends week in and week out has been an absolute pleasure. Wow, we look ahead, Season 4 of 2024 for iRacing, Season 2 of the Legends World Challenge next season. It is going to be immense. It all comes down and begins on the 11th of October next season. You guys do not want to miss any of the action to come. So be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon as well, so you are notified whenever we go racing here on SRWtv. Massive shout out to all of our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, Warren & Brown Tools, Cooler Master, and Shannon's Insurance as well, for their continued support of the Tuesday night Supercars, Sunday night Supercars for Warren & Brown, the Wednesday night Cooler Master Super Formula Championship for Cooler Master, and then the Thursday night GR86 Nationals for Shannon's Insurance, as well to our other sponsors, NeuroPower, DSL Rail Services, Shunt Scenery, and Groom Industries, the home of the V8 Coffee Table, which can be found on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia in the news and interviews, little studio segments that they have running every single week. But I've been Amish Munro. This is round number 9 of the Legends World Challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here with us once again. We'll see you guys next week for the Cooler Master Super Formula Championship F1 Shadow Round out at Belle Isle. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now.